It's another beautiful sunny day here at my Storm Chasers village. I'm kidding, as per usual it's raining, or storming. It always storms at my Storm Chasers village. But in our last episode of our Let's Play series, we were actually able to defeat the Storm King, which unlocked a ton of journal entries, this time for the Storm King adventure. Now I don't want to do any glitches that'll actually finish my journal for me, but I will show you guys some. Now shout out to V Abduct on YouTube for tagging me in a video showing off this Thunderlord glitch, and also ColdBus6531 on Reddit for showing people how to do it there. Now defeating the Storm King comes with extra perks because Carl Ruckus will actually give you additional rift shards, enough to actually place down 2 additional bus stations. And right now for me, I have a ton of these storm areas that are thousands of meters away from my base, so I definitely need to place down some rift stations there. And I see all the comments about me not flying places, but trust me, I try. I'm not very good at making any sort of vehicles. Just don't yell at me or make fun of me too bad. I didn't realize I had too many balloons on there, so I fixed the aircraft and now we're driving pretty smooth. Sometimes this glitch camera angle is a blessing because I was actually able to see this rift station down here that I can go and collect from. Let's go! If you're affected by the storm crystal bug, this video is for you. This also works for those that just don't want to fight every single wave throughout these dungeons. And all that you want to do is go deep inside of this cave until you can find another rift. And every single dungeon will have this back room that actually has another rift that'll bring you directly back to the front entrance. But what we want to do is use a little bit of a glitch in order to get underneath of the map that'll get us directly to the Thunderlord or the Duo Brutes. Now this trick is actually very easy. All that you want to do is run out your stamina bar until right before it's depleted. Typically when you jump into water, it'll reset you if you jump in there with red stamina. So what that means is last second, you're going to jump towards that back left wall, and what that should do is reset you underneath of the map. You just have to be outside of the water line in order for it to spawn you out here. Next up, you're going to jump underneath of the map while not using your glider just yet. You need to be careful to avoid any new mountains because all of the dungeon levels are located underneath of here. So simply move yourself out of the way so you don't fall on top of them, as you will die if you fall on them. Now once you get towards the Thunderlord cave, what you need to do is pull out your glider. You're going to know that this is where you're at because you see all of the objects around it. You do need to be careful during this part and continue to deploy your glider so that you don't fall and hit this invisible barrier and die from fall damage. So continuously pulling out your glider is going to help avoid that completely. Now this part's hard to explain for those that have never been inside of the Thunderlord area, but when you enter in, you actually start on this platform that my cursor's aimed at. What you want to do is run directly behind that and away from the Thunderlord arena. That's going to turn all of these rocks and objects blue, and all that you need to do from here is free fall down until you actually get entered into a teleporter, which will spawn you directly on the Thunderlord platform. Once you get out of this rift, you're going to be put directly on the platform where you're either going to have to defeat the Storm Wild Brute duo or the Thunderlord himself. Bring a crossbow and some food, and you should be able to knock these out extremely easily. Even though we skipped some steps in order to come down to this point, defeating the Storm Brute duo or the Thunderlord is still going to give us the gold chest that contains rift crystals, Eye of the Storm, and so much more. Not only that, but again, even though we skipped some steps, when you leave this rifted area, there's no longer going to be the storm on the outside, and it'll register that you completed this dungeon. Now on this surviving 100 days world, I definitely need to put bus stations at the entrance of every single one of these dungeons. For you guys, especially if you guys have experienced this bug and can't find all 3 storm crystals, I definitely recommend doing the exact same thing, because now that you could do this glitch to complete the dungeon, it will reset those storm crystals every 24 hours, and it's very likely that all 3 will pop up in the future. And just like that, after 5 minutes, we're able to get down to the Thunderlord and start to fight him, which, as you guys know, is one of the easiest fights that you can do because it's very easy to evade all of his attacks. Now, if you can't tell, there's not much loot that you get from the end here. You are pretty much guaranteed a Rift Crystal and an Eye of the Storm, as well as a book to unlock more runes. But if you guys don't experience this glitch, actually clearing out the dungeon gives you more Eye of the Storm and Rift Crystals, so it's actually worth fighting every single one of these waves. If you guys do have the bug, I hope that it completely resets all of these, just so that you guys are actually able to complete them and get even more materials. And now, on at least 2 of these storm areas, I have over 24 hours of access to any of the emeralds, ruby, sapphire, or amber that's on the side of all of these little cliffs to grab as much of them as I can. But we are actually able to go and deposit a ton of really solid loot that we were able to get while we were out there. We were able to fight the duo brutes, which gave us a ton of brute scales. We had some feather, we had some storm core, we had some books, weapons, blast core. I mean, the list goes on with the great materials or the great finds that we got just from out there fighting. Now, this isn't necessarily a glitch, more so a really nice trick when it comes to collecting 100 Eyes of the Storm or Rift Crystals. A lot of you guys know this when you guys updated your village square, but all you need to do is actually just drop these and then pick them back up. Now, when you guys take a look at your journal after dropping and picking them back up, it doesn't actually count each one individually, but once you do all 100, it will register that you picked all of them up. Now, a lot of you guys probably placed down your legendary forge before you got this new journal entry, so all that you guys need to do is break your previous one and then place your new one back down. That'll actually complete that task inside of the journal pretty quickly. So when it comes to the rest of your journal, they're very easy to get done. Now that you've already defeated the Storm King once, the rest of these get very easy. The Little Barge vehicle build unlocked when you reach level 10 at that village, which is just a prefab to get done, and the catch a legendary Storm Flopper is very easy because it's just done inside of the grasslands area. Since you could do the trick in order to get done both of your collect 100 tasks, all of this should get done very, very easily in just 5 days after you wait the 24 hours each day to defeat the Storm King even more times. Now, I read every single comment, so there's a few things I needed to get done before this video ended. Number 1, I need to make the Storm Charm, and that's because it reduces damage taken from storm energy attacks, which means that when I'm fighting inside of these dungeons or against the Storm King, I will actually take less damage. And the other thing that's highly requested is getting myself a real glider. Nobody likes seeing that yellow glider anymore, so I think it's time to go to the red one, which is going to give us more lift and actually give us even longer range when it comes to using it. But I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Tomorrow, we have to continue to complete this journal. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, this was Crafty, and I'm out. Peace. But YouTube thinks that you're gonna like that video that's up there in the top left, and you may also want to hit that subscribe button in the top right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.